Alright, so now I'm going to, this video is going to talk about how to solve for angles when they are given. So I have given you 109 degrees, and I want you to solve for all the other angles using your knowledge of angle measures in this two parallel lines cut by a transversal. Okay, if you're still confused about the angle types and their measurements, then you need to watch the first video, the overview, because it's kind of like a crash course over all of the different angle types. So, I look at 109 degrees, and I'm going to say, okay, well, there's a ton of different ways that I can solve for different angles. But the first thing that I see is that angle A and angle C are vertical angles, okay? Vertical angles. Remember, vertical angles share a vertex, and they are congruent. They're the same angle measurement. So that means that angle C is 109 degrees also. Okay, now there's tons of other things I can do. I can see that A and E are corresponding angles, because if I had my patty paper, or if I can just visualize it in my mind, then I can take A and scoot it all the way down for C, or excuse me, for E, and that makes A become E. Now, E is 109 degrees. I can do the same thing for C. I can scoot C down to G, and that makes C and G corresponding angles. So G is 109 degrees also. Alright, so I've got half of my angles completed. Well, how am I going to figure out what B, D, F, and E are? Or B, D, F, and H? Well, I can look at this straight line right here. Okay, remember we talked about supplementary angles. Supplementary angles add to equal 180 degrees. So I can look at A and B. I know that A plus B has to equal 180 degrees because they're supplementary, right? This makes a 180 degree angle. It's a straight line. Well, we already know that A is 109 degrees, so that means that if I just subtract 180 minus 109, then I'm going to end up with 61 degrees. Nope, 71 degrees. Sorry. 71 degrees. Okay, so B ends up being 71 degrees. Well, then B and D are also vertical angles, so D becomes 71 degrees. I'm going to use a different angle type. I'm going to look at B and H, because those are alternate exterior angles. They're on opposite sides of the transversal, and they're also on the outside of the parallel lines. So B and H are congruent. They're the same. So that makes that 71 degrees. And then I'm going to use another angle type. D and F are alternate interior angles. They're inside the parallel lines, but on opposite sides of the transversal. So F is 71 degrees also. Notice that there are only two angle sizes in this whole thing. Okay, so really, if you know one of the angles, you can figure out the other angle measure. We've got 109 and 71. We have those two angle measures, and that's the consistency of all of the other angle measurements.